And this is Nicolas, and I'll tell you first what the problem was that we needed to solve. I'm a composer that uses just intonation, and just intonation is one of the quirkiest of the types of microtonality in that we have to have a flexible number of pitches rather than saying, you know, if you were to use quarter tones, you'd have 24 pitches, or if you used 19 EDO, you'd have 19 pitches to the octave. Here, you can have any number of pitches depending on what you're doing. You know, you could set up a gamut and run with that, or you could compose one note to the next and tune each one to the next one and have a huge number of pitches. Some of Ben Johnston's compositions for string quartet have 70 to 150 notes in the space of an octave. So this is the set of accidentals that I use. And it makes a lot of sense to those of us who use this set because the normal accidentals, the ones we all know, sharps, flats, double flats, those refer to a Pythagorean tuning, everything tuned exactly in pure fifths. And then the next, down there you see where it says 5 limiter Ptolemaic intervals. Those are the accidentals that accommodate the purely tuned major and minor thirds and sixths. And then the septimal intervals are the ones that are generated by the 7th harmonic and the 11th harmonic and the 13th harmonic, etc. Every time you have a new prime number, you get a new set of intervals and a new set of problems with that. So what has happened with most notation programs, like Finale, for instance, it just does not accommodate this in any real way. So what Nicolas did for me was to, first of all, get the accidentals into the program. And then from that point, we had to figure out how to tune them. So what happens here is that you establish which note is going to be the tonic note that you're judging everything else from. That could be, in this case, it's B flat. And everything else has to be tuned from there. The way these accidentals work is, as I said before, the regular accidentals are the Pythagorean intervals, and then the others act on that. So compared to equal temperament, even the Pythagorean intervals have to be 2 cents wider per fifth. So from B flat, the F has to be two cents higher. A C would have to be 4 cents higher than equal temperament, et cetera, et cetera. And then the other accidentals act on that. So we had to accommodate that as well. Do you want to say anything else about it?
No, so just that, yeah. You can change the tuning of the notes here in the inspector, so manually for each note, which is not very convenient. So I tried as a drummer to understand all of these because it was completely new to me, and make a plugin so you can just write it like this and then run a plugin that will automatically change the tuning for you. And so yeah, I put it on GitHub, and we tried it on a piece made by Jim. So it's a short piece. Maybe you want to talk about it?
Sure. What I did here in this particular thing, this is from a set of pieces I wrote a few years ago called Blake, I call them Blake fragments. It's been a couple years since I've looked at these. They're short, which is why I chose to do one of them for today. And it's based on William Blake. It was performed by a Scottish choir, and this one is based all on notes of the harmonic series of B flat. That's why I chose this one. But yeah, we can play that. So ultimately, this changed quite a number of things for us, for those of us that work with this kind of intonation. It gives us an easy way to deal with it in terms of both notating it, but also providing the singers with a reference recording. Because when there are, new intervals, this one's not as difficult as some of the others are, but when there are new intervals, they want something they can listen to get the intervals into their heads, to get the right pitches. It's not like they can retune like other instruments can or put extra frets like on a guitar, So thank you so much for that.
Nicolas, two questions real quick. Will this be a plugin or is this in the MuseScore regular release code base?
The palette is not in a release, but in a nightly build, so something that we do every day. Okay. And the rest is a plugin, and the plugin is on GitHub. So the playback part is in plugin.
And where did you get the glyphs from? Were they part of the Smuffle spec? Or
Sure. They are in Smuffle, so they come from Bravura.